All right, we're asked to solve this rational equation, and I'm going to show you how to solve this rational equation using common denominators instead of the more standard practice of multiplying by the least common denominator. All right, so the general steps are that they're going to be the same. The first step is always we need to find the least common denominator. And the one thing we need to do this is in this third term here on the right-hand side of the equation, we need to factor 3x plus 3 by factoring out a 3. Once we have done that, what we need to do is identify the LCD, which is first identifying all of the unique factors. And in this case, we got a 2, we have a 3, and we have an x plus 1. And again, those are the unique factors. X plus 1 shows up twice, but it only shows up one time in each instance. And so this works, and we can simplify this LCD to be 6x plus 1. You also could distribute the 6 through the x plus 1, but often when working with least common denominators, it's helpful just to keep it in its factored form. The next step now is to rewrite each of these rational terms with this new least common denominator of 6x plus 1. And so I'm going to do that to each of these three terms. In order to rewrite these fractions, what we need to do is multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. And again, we have the goal of getting to 6x plus 1. All right, so in this first term, we have the x plus 1, but we need to multiply the top and the bottom by a 6. That will get us to 6 times x plus 1. In this second term, we've got to do a little bit more. We're going to need to multiply this denominator by a 3. That will make the 2 times the 3 to give us the 6. And we need the x plus 1 also to do the top and the bottom. And then the right-hand side of the equation over here, what we need to do is multiply this denominator by a 2 to get the 6x plus 1. So we do that to top and the bottom. Alright, so cleaning things up, then what we get here in this first fraction is 36 over 6 times x plus 1. This next one we're going to get is 9 times x plus 1 over 6x plus 1. And finally, we'll get 16 over 6x plus 1. This is a useful method for solving these because creating the common denominators is a lot like when we're adding and subtracting rational expressions, so we can use that same method. What we're going to do now that we have this equation to where every single term has the same denominator, is that we simply rewrite this expression without our denominators. And so just setting the numerators, we got 36 minus 9 times x plus 1 equals 16. Now all we need to do is solve this linear equation. So we have this answer of x equals 11/9, and that is the solution to the equation. The only thing to do is to make sure that's not an excluded value, which I didn't bring up at the beginning of this. But remembering our excluded values are any values that would make our denominator 0. And so we'd need to set these equal to 0 to find out what those are. And the only excluded value in this equation is x can't be negative 1. Because negative 1 will make both of those two denominators 0. Therefore, that's our only excluded value, and 11/9 is not negative 1. So this is our answer.